Hey guys, this is Omega Poor here, and today I'm going to make yet another video, this time on a different topic. I was actually going to go more into the economy of the game, of STO, or at least, give you guys a little guidance to how to get into the economy of the game, how to generate your EC, at least, how we get started, how we make, a few 10 millions. Since, we can also make 100 millions, but the game isn't really in the best stage ever. But I'll tell you the basics, or at least like the things I use for the most part, that will help you make hundreds of millions if if your commitment is high enough to the game or to the exchange. And other things, obviously, I'm gonna call up a few options of how we can make EC, which things you should do, which things you shouldn't do, certain investments and certain tricks and little tips on where you can save EC or where you can eventually make EC in a quite handy way, or save on weapon upgrades and whatnot, which is obviously also value and EC in that sense. Anything in this game, Dilithium is EC, keys EC, everything. So if you know how to better utilize your master keys, you eventually save EC. And that's also something I'm going to go over, because since the gambling in this game isn't as RNG as you might think. Alright guys, so let's get started. Buy the EC cap unlock. That gives you 2 billion EC, which is about, let me find it, I'm sorry, I'm not, this. This is like the first purchase you probably ever make in this game for Zen. It basically changes your cap from 15 million to 2 billion. Should you gain any more EC while your cap is full, 15 million, which isn't exactly hard to reach, it will just dissipate, it will be gone. Something that happened to a friend of mine like a few weeks back, because he bought the cap, then sold the keys, and they were frozen at 15 million and the rest was gone. He got into contact with cryptic support and they resolved it. But I'm gonna remind you, if you buy this, you have to relog. Just saying, if you buy this, relog every time before you have to talk to cryptic support to get your credits back. They will help you, but it's just a little inconvenient. So buy this first purchase with Zen, and then make sure you relog. But this is like one major thing that basically is the basic or the essence of everything economy related in this game or in this video. Alright. The first thing is how to get started in energy credit business or general economy in this game. So what I generally suggest people to do to start with is just play your STFs, grind some gear, and just stack up those R&D materials. I don't have that much actually. It might look like a lot, but it's not that an awesome collection. Some people that have significant more amount. But what I suggest most people to do as a starter, like to stack up a few 10 million, is the mission Tour the Galaxy from this one guy on their space dock. You can just call him in the yeah, here he is, J Jim. He's actually standing somewhere in their space dock, I think, where you buy your ships to the right. If I messed this up, sorry, but you can just get him here. You basically call him when you're already in space to save some time, so you don't have this all loading time included in the time. And then you just travel as far as possible, and this can easily yield you like 1 to 2 million every day. I don't know if they nerf the rewards, but easy EC. It does take like 15 minutes. It's an easy one and relatively easy to do. So yeah, I know people that consider 1 million a lot for those. This is actually not a bad one. I don't do these anymore, but when you get started, this is definitely a good option. What else you can do is you craft weapons like a madman. I don't max on all R&D because I'm a lazy shit, but I'm totally fine with 15 on certain things. I don't craft that much. But like, say you're gonna craft say beams is usually the most profitable variant. Dual heavy cannons also get, and usually it's only anti-proton, disruptor, and phaser. The other 3 are totally viable, but they do not sell as well. Also, on another note, weapons do currently sell not as great as they used to in general. So weapon business is quite tough, I would say. But I'm still going to get into this one because who knows if it's gonna come back at some point. As you can see, I have these 2 beams here. Mainly in game if you have an offer. Haha, just kidding, because at some point I might as well just give them away. Who knows? Yeah, right. Drop a comment on this video. I'm gonna give those away, and if you're gonna get it, clickbait. Guys, love it. in these giveaways. No, but actually I might give those away at some point. Like if you really badly want those, you need those for your build, and I don't get them sold at some point, I might as well just give them away. But that's the sad part. Those are like the best anti-proton beams right now. There is, so, or basically the best anti-proton in general there is, and they don't sell. They're epic Mark 14, 37.5 million might sound like a lot, but it's not that much. So it is pretty frustrating that I struggle selling those. But then again, what I'm gonna tell you now is more for the low-end weapons. So basically, what you're aiming for is, you know, the right mods. So say you want dual heavy cannon, and then we have a proper mod. Say, you know, we're talking about Mark II, so we're gonna go Mark II, and then you want like damage times 2, because we're obviously, this is very rare, because this is like the Mark II ones. People buy those to evolve from there. I'm gonna get into this later, or like soon, because this video isn't gonna be that long. Add pen, for example, and then you get, you know, these like Tetrion. As you can see, what I just said, they aren't that valuable. Then phaser, which is, you know, a solid option. Anti-proton, which is even more solid, and then the higher one, disruptor. You know, crafting weapons is so cheap. It's so cheap because all you need is 2 materials, and you can get them in masses, and you just spend your time, maybe multiple tunes, crafting weapons. And should you get 1 damage times 2 pen, you sell these. They sell actually not too bad. They sell better than your Mark 14 epic ones, because they are more affordable. And, you know, many people do get those to get their weapons day 1 finally. Like, I can show you an example. Like these. I crafted almost 2,000 disruptor dual heavy cannons to get these. But, you know, even though it sounds insane, the actual, like, return rate, if I would have bought those, like, right off the exchange, I don't know if they're being sold right now, but let's check. Yeah, like, see? I don't want to spend 4 times 130 million on a weapon. And I got those, you know, crafted for like an equivalent of about like 50, 60, maybe 100 million, all of them, like in terms of investment. And I'll also show you how that goes. But that's what I'm talking about. Make your weapons yourself, and that's the main reason why my own don't sell. But that's also 37.5 million, you know, compared to 130, it's quite cheap. So these are the ones you really never buy. If you have a beam or a weapon you want so badly, like, get it in the best way possible. In that case, Mark 14 epic for like 20, 30 million. You shouldn't be too hesitant, because this method can be very frustrating as well. But since I wanted 4 of them, I just went with it. Because as you just saw, damage times 2 pen for 5 million. They were a bit cheaper back then, but when I made those. But then again, you know, I would be one guy to pick them up and upgrade them. And that's, you know, a good business. And it's not just damage times 2 pen. You could also say you could go with crit damage times 2 pen. And these are also quite solid. Not as expensive, but for anti-proton they definitely have a higher value than a disruptor. Since disruptor is more damage, the raw damage thing among the DPS guys, because there's more ways to modify its raw damage. So disruptor is seen as the raw damage thing in this game. You cannot see me right now, but I'm putting up, you know, it's debatable what it is, but I see the disruptor as the more damage oriented, and anti-proton is more crit. Therefore, the crit mods on the anti-protons have more value, and damage mods on the disruptor have more value. But look at it as you wish. That's how the market goes, and that's what you should respect. So yeah, crit damage times 3 pen, anti-proton, yay. You know, damage times 2 pen, okay. But on disruptor, even better. So depending on if you get damage mods non-stop, you might want to switch to crafting disruptor. Since I figured that crafting isn't as RNG, because I crafted like over 1,000 and got like 3 damage times 2 pens. Then crafted like 300 and got 6. You know, I later crafted them a bit later. But you get the point. Or crit damage times 3 pen, or damage times 3. Crit damage times 3 or damage times 3. You don't want crit hit. If you get crit hit on a weapon, it loses all its value. If you upgrade, you get crit hit, it's trash. If you get it by crafting, trash. You don't want rapid, you don't want snare, you don't want crit hit. Damage and crit damage combinations are, you know, okay, but purists like me, they want a pure variant. And since pen is the best mod there is, you know, people don't mind to have, you know, pen on their weapon. And no, don't go ahead, plasma dual heavy cannons, crit damage times 3 don't sell for that much. That's the thing. People on the exchange are mad. They ask for insane prices. They never get that much for like their, you know, cannons or like, 10 million for Mark II plasma, which is totally off matter. Nobody will pay that much. But that's for the weapons. That's one way to make good EC. It's like one of the best ways to get started. What you can also do is craft upgrades, like the superior ones. The other ones are totally worthless. But before that, I'm sorry, I forgot. It's totally messed up. You need focusing lens, right, to craft, to do heavy cannons. And look, 4,000 each. And you need the... Yes, I should have planned this better, sorry guys. You need... Alright, barrel synchronizer. Yeah, they are like 4,000 each. So crafting one costs you 8,000. So you could craft like 10 for 80,000, 100 for 800,000, and like 1,000 for like 8 million. And then you get like the 8 million back and 1,000 craft. It's totally guaranteed. You will get at least, enough weapons to get your money back, probably like 5 times more. That's the way you make profit. It's time consuming, but if you have multiple toons that are crafting capable, that's what you can do. And now back to the upgrade kits. I didn't forget that. So superior ones are currently the value is quite meh, 60,000 each. But then again, you can craft them quite easily. It's important that you crit, so this is something you do when your crafting schools are like level 20. That's where you can make money. Some people I know that aren't that rich, they make money like that. It's also a good option, but I would say do it when you have really good duty officer and your crafting schools level 20. Next thing, Dilithium on multiple toons. You have like, say 10, 20 toons, and you have a lot of those. Some people do, or you do contraband. You can grind your Dilithium on all those toons, and then you use the Dilithium exchange to basically use a cent to buy on that particular toon for say 100, because doesn't matter, and Dilithium per sell 100. So say I have a lot of Dilithium, I want to buy 500 Zen for 100 each. That this offer won't go. Nobody will sell his Zen for this. It's obvious, it's totally stupid, so 100 is the one I'm going with. But you sub an offer to buy on another toon, you swap the toon, and the offer is still there, and you cancel the offer, and it ends up in this exchange balance, and then you can withdraw it on the toon you're currently on. And that's quite, that's how we transfer Dilithium. I'm sure a lot of people know this, but can't be bad to mention this sometime more, because some people don't know this. That's a great way. It's over 9,000! Sorry. I couldn't stop myself. Yeah, so that's the Dilithium. These are like the basic ones. What you can also do is duty officers. So what you can buy is like these hollow storage. What was it like? Oh, you know what? Yeah, hollow novel storage device. See, I would have screwed that one up. They aren't that expensive. They're like 235k right now. Buy them in bulk. But the trick is, these are relatively affordable, and the duty officers you get from these, you can only do one at a time per toon, but the duty officers you get from these are generally worth more than what they are. Some of them are worth actually quite a bit, like, this one. It's one duty officer you get pretty often from this. So, that's a very good way of making actual EC from that. This hollow storage device, buy them, and repeat the process. Do it like over and over and over, and you'll have duty officers you can sell. They don't sell like retardedly quick, but if you have patience and you want to make profit, that's one way to do it. Another one you get that everybody knows is a good old, these are obviously you can get them. They aren't worth that much, but they return usually what these things cost you. So the constellation isn't that bad. And even if you only got those, they usually sell quick. A bit under 2 million, but given the thing costs 250k. Still profit, and that's what I'm saying. This is ways to get started, and like every million of profit is you're happy about it. All right, and that's basically my top 4 ways to get started. Actually, top 5 if you consider the contraband, which I didn't go too deep into. Actually, SOP made a video about that. Might link it if I don't forget. But yeah, contraband is actually a good, solid option. You just need a lot of toons for that to be profitable. It used to be really retardedly profitable. And win ships, that's also a way to make EC. I'm going to go into that. These options are also good for the high end, especially that lithium one, just that you need the crap load of toons. And whoever's spamming me right now, I'm gonna kill him. Alright, methods of saving EC. As I just mentioned, the weapons. You can make them yourself and cheap. Say, I'm just, you know, for the sake of this video, I'm gonna do this. I usually would never do this. But say I want an anti-proton, dual heavy cannon, an epic crit damage times 3 pen. I actually will need those for a project I'm working on. So, usually, you know, I write these because I know all the formula. So I'm gonna go Mach 2, crit damage times 2, pen, right? And, you know, 2 million, that's not too bad. Alright, I buy this one. This is not gonna be a guaranteed thing, right? I only will do one because I'm not a madman, but who knows how it will go. It's like, you know, I don't know the result and you guys don't either, so wish me luck. I'm buying Omega fragments. You can buy the lower ones and then craft. I'm an idiot. Buy them up, you know, upgrade them from like the slivers to the shards and the shards to the fragments. But I usually buy the fragments because it's the 587,000, and then if I go shard, you need 3 shards for 1 fragment. You know, 600k. These are more expensive. I don't know why. And soon as the Omega event, and that's another major source of EC. You know, just grind your Omegas. If you win in the game, get more than 2,300 points in the game mini game. There's a chance to get 1 fragment straight away, which is, you know, it's a great way of making EC. I'll definitely be doing that because the Omega event is one of the most profitable things there is. Okay, so here in special projects you have these, and then there's the Omega upgrade kit. I'm gonna craft this one, speed it up a bit because, you know, can't be bothered waiting 20 hours. And I got 1 Omega upgrade kit now. Alright. The special thing about this one is it's easy to access. Like, say we would say 1.8 million per upgrade kit. Sounds like a lot, but in terms, like, instead of paying us 130 million for a weapon, this is definitely nothing. You see, 4 times quality improvement chance. What else I'm gonna do now is buy a major research boost. You could also buy the normal ones, but I'm off. You know, I don't want to budget. 1.5 isn't actually a bad deal. They double. Like, this is 8 times quality improvement. You can see the weapon now here. We're gonna upgrade it. Omega particle, major research, and you see 40% to ultra rare on multiple shots on 1 weapon. So I'm gonna do this. Okay, didn't upgrade. Again, didn't go. And I got a damage mod. So yeah, it's not what I wanted. It's a crit damage times 2 damage pen. The chance is 25% to get the mod you want. Pen is something you can only get at the start. Could have been a crit damage times 3 pen, so the chance isn't too bad. But if you do this multiple times, my investment for this try was like 2 million for the weapon, 1.5 for the thingy, and like 8.8, so about a bit more than 5 million for the shot. But about, you know, 3-4 shots should get you what you want, and you don't have to pay the top whack, which is the point, right? And it's still 20% to epic, and it's still overshooting, and it didn't go. Which is, you know, not a big deal because it's not what I wanted anyway. And then you see me doing the savage move. Discard! I'm a bad guy, but I don't need this one. Yeah, you get the point. I could have sold it actually. I might actually recycle, but, you know, it wasn't even epic, so I probably wouldn't sell. But you see, it could have been epic crit damage times 3 pen. This happens relatively often. So, it's definitely a good way to go. With, you know, making your own weapons, especially when they're craftable. And the current meta where procs have been nerfed into oblivion, craftable weapons are the best thing you can get. Now to the next thing, ascending price per unit. Basically, you would want to use this because it's simply the best thing you can do in order to sort things for best price. As example, I'm gonna look for R&D packs here. And as you can see, the price per stack is so much better than the single price. At this point, I might as well buy them, which I'm gonna do here, which I just did. Look, 1.25 million, and the single pack is 1.65. So stacks are generally cheaper. Same as if you do, like, you know, you want your bridge of visibility, which is like chemoside lace weaponry, and you see those 3, but most people buy chemoside 1. So let's go over and see here, a 5 stack of chemoside 1 for 148. Then the next one that's basically the cheapest is 1.7, which is not a major difference right now, but generally you have the chemoside, like the single ones, going to up like 3 million, and then you have the 5 stacks for like 1.5. Even if you know, don't want 5 of them, you could just buy all the 5 stack, You keep one, you sell the rest, you make yourself a little profit and get the one you want instead of having to pay this high margin for like just, you know, wanting to buy one and not 5, because a lot of people buy up a lot of them, or they open lockboxes and sell them in stacks. And then you have the people that buy those stacky and post them simple and buy all the cheaper single ones so they can make themselves some profit. Which is, well, it's not nice, EA, but you know, it's just the way things go, and you just have to stick with that and, you know, outsmart those guys that try to force those practices upon you. But generally, that's how that goes. So generally, just browse the exchange with a sending price per unit, unless you look for something specific, like you want only buy one. But most of the time, a sending price per unit is the better way to look through the exchange. Of course, most people know that, but I'm just gonna mention it again. All right. Next thing is the more high end of the exchange. So things you generally want to look for where you will find the most profit in the game, like period. So what I'm going to start first with is what you should not be doing is trade ships. I mean, obviously this can be a good business, but most of the time it is not. Unless you get like a ship for like half the usual price. That's an exception. But say you look at the exchange and you see that Astica battle cruiser, and you're like, okay, usually that ship costs like, you know, 250 million, and it's now on the exchange for like 175. You will pick that up because that's a no-brainer. But if it's like 220 or 230 and it's usually selling for 250, I wouldn't be going for that. The time it takes for you to resell it for that, you know, profit at 250, 260, it might take you multiple days. And in that case, you might as well just, you know, do other little deals and easily, you know, top that number. All right. The next thing about ships is I just had a situation a few hours back, or like actually, you know, not long ago, where I checked the Briostris Dreadnought carrier. There was only one on the exchange for 700 million. And a lot of people are going, oh my god, I'm gonna grab that ship in the box and post it. But look guys, just because a ship is not really available on the exchange, that is especially a reason not to pick it from the box, because the risk that you're gonna get undercut very quickly is significantly higher. As I just said, there was one ship 700 million just a day ago, and now there is 14 offers down to 300 million, keep dropping. If you check an offer that's currently probably not as populated, say the prototype Dreadnought Cruiser, only 11 items, that one's already established. Probably the same thing happened here, 280 million for T6 ship, not too great. If you can check also the other package, check the alternatives. This ship box contains the Atlas as well, currently more expensive, but you know, maybe you're gonna pick that one for cheaper at some point. Get the Atlas, sell the Atlas, make a profit. Happens rarely, but these rare occasions is where you make the big profit. What I am currently checking mainly to eventually get something is the R&D packs, because they're currently dirt cheap. I mean, they tend to be dirt cheap. I'll just show you my sell history if it's still popped on. Yeah, you can see here, I bought like 200 of those for 1 million like a few days ago, and then within one day I sold those 200 for 50% more. Therefore, I made a 100 million profit. As you can see, 10, 10, 5, subspace vortex. Apparently the 99 stack isn't anymore here. Like, this game tends to just delete your exchange sale messages. That doesn't really miss the point. What I'm saying is, you know, guy posted a stack here for 99, you know, 99 R&D packs for 1 million each. That's why sending price per unit is so important. I picked it up. That's what something when you already, you know, established, you have a few 100 million, and you know they sell relatively quickly. Those mass products sell quickly. That's where you make the biggest money, not with big items like promo ships or like, you know, regular tier 6 ships. But with the actual, you know, research and development packs, with the master keys, maybe promo packs, you can make profit with promo ships. That's the total high end. But I'm not even going to go into that. If you get one for like, you know, 800 million, 1 billion, so be it. But that's something that happens so rarely. That's usually some kind of deal you have to do person to person, where somebody's willing to sell his promo ship for 1 billion. And, you know, you're like, okay, I'll go for it. I mean, if you're being really nice, you're going to tell them, oh, it's actually worth 1.5, but you're not gonna do that. Be honest. It's not rational. So yeah, rip people off. Don't scam. But you know, try to find the balance between making people happy and make yourself happy. If I buy from somebody who is like, you know, having a ship for sale, and I buy it from him, you know, he still makes $1 billion, I make 500 million, both happy. But yeah, you get the point. It's try to find a balance. Don't buy promo ships for 100 million for people, even though it would be a pretty epic experience. So yeah, ships, not really. Bulk products, awesome. I'm gonna go through a few bulk products now that I'm usually dealing with, which is like the chemosite, which you know, I've already had times where I made a few 100 million of chemosite. Right now, not great, but it might come back. Or other, you know, training manuals like Subspace Vortex. Integrity Collapse, not so much, but like distributed targeting, also one that's pretty potent. Then what else you can trade is like certain duty officers that have their value. Like this is a very popular PvP one, a Killel. You know, this is another good example. Some might think, look, dude, this is like double the price. I'm gonna pick that one up for 19 million. I don't think I'll get it sold for close to this. I might, but it's a risk, and I'm gonna take the risk. A few days ago, I got one for 2 million for whatever reason, and that was a good deal. And that's when you're gonna rush in there. Check a lot of products or items on the exchange, and you know, sometimes you just tip into one that's, you know, really profitable, or like this duty officer, which gives you stack and crit damage, which is a really good PvE one. Also, you see, maybe the difference is more than double, but you still have to think this duty officer is not worth more than 100 million in rational sense. You know, why would I be paying 360 million for a duty officer? That just makes no sense. That's why you have to think, what would I be willing to pay for this, not what other people post it for. Then again, if you're poor and you think you're gonna get a tier 6 ship for like 20 million, you're wrong. I mean, just not gonna happen. Then another thing that's sometimes decent is fleet ship modules. Right now, not so much. Starship upgrades used to be better than they are right now. You know, they are an okay item. Also, not really great right now. Their research boosts, obviously with ascending price per unit. I tend to say what I'm writing. And this is something that they added recently, which just makes this lockout on searching so horrendous. Alright, research boost. You know, these sometimes get sold for 150. You keep them for a while. When they're back to 250 or 220, you sell them and make yourself a 30% profit margin. Like, what you make per item is not as significant as what you make with the whole stack. I could, you know, buy a ship for 200 mil, sell it for 250 mil, and a profit margin might be about 20%. I'm not, you know, insta math in my head. But when you buy like R&D packs and sell them for 50% margin, they might sell faster, and you definitely make more receipt of that. So ships is a very debatable thing to do, selling. And obviously you have the other variants, which is the major research boost. You have the technology boost. You have like obviously the major technology boost, which is, you know, like the lockout. And you have the superior tech upgrades. And those are tending to be, you know, sometimes very good. What you also have to consider is events or upcoming events. I, for instance, know that the next promotion is going to come up within about 2 weeks. Just, you know, when a winter event starts. This is not a leak. This is, you know, a logical conclusion. These packs will pop up here when you just type promotion exclamation mark all over the place. Somebody might post them for much less, like 10 million per pack. They were 15 million per pack. You buy those 10 million, 50% profit margin. That's like when people, like in the first few days, a promo comes out where they just go haywire about it, and you just make money of it like mad. They keep undercutting each other, and you just sit back, pick their packs, and you just laugh at them, and, you know, make yourself a lot of money. That's basically what it is. You just, you know, abuse the impatience and stupidity of other players to make money. It sounds a bit unmoral, but I mean, still better than, you know, a $60 game with loot crates in it that I totally pay to win. You know, yeah, that's that. And obviously you can buy the actual promo ships, which tend, if I can find them, like, you know, what they're worth. These, or if you want to find promo ships, these are also promo ships that are quite desired. The tier 6, you know, the temple ships. Or in that case, that's one of the few situations where you use descending price. And you tap tier 6. And then you see all those promo ships. Obviously, some mad people post a ship that's barely worth 300 or even 200 for 1.5 billion. Obviously, that's stupid. I don't know if they use their exchange as some sort of bank or if they're just crazy, but it is what it is. And yeah, obviously don't accidentally buy those items. Also, loss prevention, guys. Do not accidentally post your keys. You know, you have 20 keys, you post them. Oh, you forget to split the stack. You post 20 keys for half the price. Sorry, somebody will immediately pick those up. That's where you can't make mistakes in posting. Master keys is something where you always have to look twice when you post them. Some people post, you know, they forgot a zero. Before they added this little comma thing, where it shows you the commas while posting, a lot of people tended to forget zeros during their posting and lost a lot of money. Like they sold their items for 10% what they're worth. I know dudes buying a stack of promo packs for like, you know, 40 million where they've been worth 400 million. And, you know, I'm sure the guy who would have sold those must have been so mad if not immediately quit the game. But that's what I'm talking about. Regarding master keys, if you think about opening lockboxes, don't do it. I mean, don't do it. Unless you're gambling addict like SOB. But generally, it is, most of the time it's a loss. Overall, for everybody, it's a loss. Except for Cryptic, of course. The thing is, this master key situation isn't as RNG as some people might think. I don't have any some formula, but the general approach that might yield you much better results is that if you have 100 keys and you just, you know, just go ahead straight ahead and open them all and you get no ship. Oh, that's too bad. The best thing you can do is check the chat, and when you see somebody win a tier 6 ship, Infinity Prize Pack tier 6 ship, you only open Infinity Prize Packs, by the way, Infinity boxes. The others are totally pointless. The Infinity boxes is the most profitable. The others are, you're not going to open the others, only Infinity, if any. You check, and when you see somebody win a ship, not the ultra rare, the normal one, you're going to open 10 to 20 boxes. You might not be guaranteed, but I promise you, if you open 10 to 20 boxes every time you see somebody win, the chance that you win a ship is just so significantly higher. I do not know why. I don't have an exact proof. It's just something that I've experienced opening over 1,000 boxes, thousands of boxes, and doing that just generally yielded me more ships. That one time I opened 60 boxes, got 3 ships just because I did that. In an empty instance, actually did it on a colony world. Some people ask me, where do you open them? When do you open them? Under what circumstances? Because that matters more than actual chance. If you care about chance, the actual chance that we were advertised or that people figured out, or I figured out from my experiments, on the average is 0.5% on our actual lockbox, which is 1 in 200. Of course, this is total bullshit most of the time, but that's the average. You usually get, you know, what you yield. Promo boxes is about 1.25%, so about 1 in 80. They are more generous, but those packs are worth about, you know, much more, 3 times more than a master key. And the worth of 80 boxes is more than a promo ship. So the constellation price of promo packs is just, you know, you get a R&D pack and low buy. What you might do when the promo is going on is these R&D packs get 1 million, if not less, all of them. Oh, see you this? Wow, 375,000 R&D pack? That's what I'm talking about. Bought. And there, I just made about 4 million profit. That's a perfect example, and that's what I mean. People don't really think when they post items sometimes. Or what might have happened is that this guy's wanted to send 1 for, you know, this price, you know, and he posted 4 for the price of 1. And that's where I got. He made a mistake, I made profit. Perfect example. Thank you who posted this thing. But you see my point. And when these things will be a promo event, they will be so inflated that they will sell for 1 million or less each. You buy them in masses, as many as you can, hold on to them, and when the promo event's over, they go back up and they still sell relatively fast. Maybe 1.6, maybe 1.5, maybe 1.7. You will make about, you know, 50 to 70% profit there. And that's something that's more in the soon future, something you might want to check out. About the topic on lockboxes, usually just open them when you want low buy. You can't lose, you get low buy no matter what, and you have a chance to win. But if you're a daredevil, do what I said, open when other people win a ship, only a few, not 100, and your chance to win is probably going to be significantly increased. I helped a few people with that little advice, and whenever I tell that to somebody and they open actual ships, they won. It just doesn't happen so much to me. People seem to be more successful with my advice than myself. Okay, that's that. That's the luck boxes, and that's actually, you know, the main thing. What I was gonna mention is events. Keep an eye on events. You see a promo, you see a sale, you see an upgrade weekend. You make a lot of upgrade kits, superior ones. Hold on to them till an upgrade weekend happens. Sell them all. When you see on the calendar, upgrade weekend upcoming, you know, you're gonna save all those precious upgrade kits. Bonus experience weekend, you hold on to those research assignments. A lot of people level up their characters with research assignments, and you know, you hold on to them, you sell them when they're having the most value, which is gonna be during the XP weekend, and they might go up a little bit, maybe not massively, but since it's quite around the corner, can't hurt to try. You'll probably get more than what you paid for, or equal, which is never a loss. So that's what I like about actually trading, because the factor of losing is just so limited. It's maybe taking more time, but the amount you can lose and the loss in general is just nothing compared to the profit you can make. And that's the main rule. You know, time your purchases, time your sales, and know what you're selling and know for how much you sell it, and you're gonna make a lot of profit. Also, doing some face-to-face deals in the game from time to time may never hurt. But that's that. That's the exchange for now. I could make a 3-hour video going over that, which I'm not going to do. But yeah, definitely there's that. So guys, I'm going to post something funny on the end of this video. An upcoming video I'm working on already. Spoiler, hint, hint. You're gonna see what's the next video gonna be about. You can guess if you even care. But yeah, I'll post it anyway because it was a really funny moment. So yeah, thanks for watching. Like if you liked it, don't if you didn't. And I might see you in the next one.
That went rather smooth.